Hey everyone, so City Skylines just came out with a new DLC that I'm going to completely ignore in favor of making a city that looks like a car, and then functions like a car. Let me try to explain what I'm going to do as I set this up. So we have unlimited money, you can see it down here, unlimited money, and no citizens at all, nothing is built yet, but that means we can expand out in this area as much as we want to. Now I've chosen an area with a small river because I want to kind of confine myself to this small area to start with, and I'm going to theme this city off of a car. So that's not exactly easy to do. I think the best way to explain it is actually just to start doing it. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'll put a wheel right here, and then down this way, we'll have a pretty big wheelbase on this car, so we'll put another wheel right about here. So those things will be our wheels, but what I want to do is kind of wrap around them as well. This isn't like the last city I made where every road is a gravel road. We'll try and make it work well, but we are going to keep the theme of a car, so these roads actually need to be one way, so they're going to be in the way that they would rotate, which in this case would be this way. So everything's a little bit off. Okay, so we're going to assume that the car is going forwards, which means these roundabouts are going the wrong way. So I'm just going to fix that real quick. Absolute genius. Okay, now let me just wrap this around here using some curved roads. If I can't get that... Oh wow, that's janky. Hold up. I have not mastered the art of the curved roads. I must admit that to you. There we go, that's exactly what I want. So if we line it up here, we can get a perfect circle. The more perfect the wheel, the better, and that is flawless. Okay, this is already going better than I thought. So now we need to draw out the shape of a car, and that's probably the trickiest part. I'm going to go ahead and do it with two-way road, and it's going to be thick two-way road just because I want to be able to see the way that things are going. First things first though, we have to kind of decide where our wheel wells are going to be. So let's put, let's just make it a nice straight line all the way across here. That'll be, like, just somewhere around there will be our bottom piece. Just like that. And then if we go up this way, we should be able to curve around the wheel itself in a reasonable fashion. Something like this. And then if we want to go out to about here, we can curve around here as well. Oh, this is really off. That's going to be a common theme in this video, by the way. If you don't like seeing ugly cities, get ready for something here. Okay, this looks reasonably reasonable to me. That front bumper might be a little far down, but we'll try to wrap that around as well and make kind of a hood. So I'm going to complete this on the other side and then we'll start with the hood. Okay, so the car is probably going to end up looking like a beetle, which is totally acceptable for this sort of thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the back and then kind of just join it up at the front. If we have to have a bridge, then we have to have a bridge. Oh my goodness, it is absolutely horrible. I really think this car is resembling something from Dr. Seuss. Like that's what I see here, especially with this line and then this really crappy roof line. But anyway, we'll try to work with this. I might end up changing it, I have no idea. Okay, so we do have a couple immediate issues. One, these are not connected to the actual car. We don't have any connection to the bridges, so we'll fix that. And there's just this huge open space that we can't build anything on, so we'll try and work with that as well. But I have a couple ideas for that, so let's get started. First thing we need to do off of here is the car needs suspension of some kind, so we'll just take some straight connections, and we will connect this to here. Okay, so the nice single lane roads definitely work better for this, which means there is a double intersection here, which is going to cause problems. I can already tell that. But anyway, that works there, and I'll do the same thing on this side. And now we need some sort of definition on the passenger compartment to show that it is indeed where the car actually, where the people need to be, I mean. So I'm gonna grab something here, we'll drag this down, and then we'll pull it on across. Oh, it does not want to connect at all. There we go, that looks nice. So that's the front entrance, or the front window. And then I'll do another one back here, and that would be the back window. But just for the fun of it, let's put a little piece here too. That's starting to look nice, and we can use different road types to our advantage. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some maybe industrial road or something, so it doesn't light up, and then we'll bring it down the door line as well, so it looks a little bit different. But I don't know. It doesn't have to make perfect sense, does it? This is a really dumb concept. Okay, so one of the bigger challenges we're going to have with this is that nobody's actually going to want to live in this city. mostly because it's garbage. So we'll try to facilitate their needs ever so slightly, and I want to do that in a way that also doesn't make much sense. Basically, I'm thinking that we put like these sort of areas here up in these sections, so it's going to be green up here because this is the passenger compartment, and then like down here, this is where the engine would be. So we'll make this into industry. And then out here, for example, is like the exhaust pipe, so we'll put industry back here too. The wheels, I have no idea, maybe commercial. It's just kind of themed that way. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm getting at here. The interior is all going to be housing. I'm just making it low density because I don't want a lot of people to live here. We'll figure that out when we get to it. But then what I was thinking as well is that all of this would be industrial, because this is where the engine is, this is where all the bits are that make the car go, so why not make it industry? And the people over here are definitely going to get sick with pollution, but who cares? And then one issue I know we're going to have is that we'll probably end up with too much commercial if we make all of the wheels that color, so I'm going to instead just paint them on the outside orange, and then we'll paint them on the inside with the lovely commercial blue. Alright, so this is kind of the basis of what I'm going for. It looks really funny when it's colored like this, my goodness. But I'm very much looking forward to people actually moving in, and I'm very thankful we have unlimited money. Okay, so speaking of unlimited money, we need to start doing some things here that are pretty important. One of them is establishing some sort of infrastructure. Obviously, this is not going to make sense in the context of a car, so I'm just going to quickly slap down the absolute basic stuff. Probably just 3 of each and we should be good. Okay, so I've gone ahead and curbed any potential water issues we will have by just painting this entire place in pipes. So this entire section of the map should be covered for water. We should not have any issues there. Now, electricity is an interesting one. We could make this car run on coal, we could go oil. Actually, oil probably makes the most sense, although it does cause heavy pollution. So let's just go ahead and use nuclear power. Why not? And of course, we need nuclear power in our industrial area to keep things powered. We'll try to put it at least a little bit farther away from the people though. I'm being just a little bit too nice here. Let's go ahead and just make sure we never have any power issues by putting down 2 large nuclear reactors, and that'll be good enough for us. Also, these pumps are not going to work because they have no electricity, so have fun. Unfortunately, the biggest issue we are going to find immediately is that we actually have to rely on power lines, and power lines suck. So I'm just gonna slap down a few of them to try and... oh, come on. Come on. Right, we're just gonna go in the water because screw the environment. Jump on over to there so we can have water flow as well. And then let's open the gates. Let's let people in. And obviously I'm gonna make things a lot faster as people tend to build up their houses pretty slowly. Would you look at that? The water system is flowing. Electrical system is functional. And people are building in an area where there is electricity. And yeah, that's good. Everything is working so far. They're all right next to the very fast flowing water and should definitely not be afraid of flooding at all. Okay, so immediately we are losing 20 grand a week. That's just like real life. And there is no way for anybody to get into this place. I totally forgot about that. Let me fix that. Okay, so I made a really crappy entrance into the city, and that should definitely let people get in. I also completely turned this thing the wrong way around. Let's fix that. There we go. Absolute genius. Okay, now people can get into our city, which is a good thing. And they can start traversing these massive roads. We're still missing a few details, so I'm going to go ahead and add those in now. Okay, obviously we have no police. We also have no fire department or anything like that. So we'll have to add those things in. I'm just going to use the biggest ones that we can and probably put them in the most central location, just so that we can ensure that all of it's covered and I don't have to put down any more. So because of that, we need the hospital, obviously, and we need the fire station and all that. So I'm going to make door handles on this car. We'll put them here, and we'll put another one over here, and we'll put the hospital and stuff on those. Oh, I really like how people are starting to come in. Thank you for joining into my city. Welcome to horror. Oh, and the lights are on too, and the traffic is flowing so freely. Just wait until we get more people, everything is gonna change. We have our first victim of the large roundabout. This truck has to go all the way around. Oh, I guess it's a little faster to go down the middle of it. There we go. I'm gonna have to change these center bits from highways to something else, because that's just simply not gonna work for us. Okay, focus up, here we go. Let's put down some door handles. I'm just gonna make this go like this. We'll go out and then down and then back over. That's really far too low. See, I could just put this stuff in the middle of nowhere, but I want to make it at least somewhat useful. Useful is a relative term. Okay, we got a bit of a wacky door handle on the back, and the crime rate is so high that people are currently complaining. Let's go ahead and put down a police station right around here, and we'll go and put a hospital right here. I think that still covers them, kinda. Yeah, that works. Beautiful. Okay, we have police, we have a hospital. They don't have electricity. Doesn't matter. And we'll put a fire station. I don't know, probably it would make sense to put it here, but we'll put it right on this intersection. It's not like that's going to be busy enough already. Alright, excellent. Looks like we actually don't need this connection anymore, which is great. And we also have no garbage at all, so I'm going to have to fix that. Completely forgot about some of the most basic of the services here. Okay, so my thoughts on the garbage is that we can put it somewhere at the back here. This is a dump. Oh, okay, perfect. Right on the back. It just makes perfect sense. So we'll put one there, and yeah, we'll put another 3 on here. No garbage issues, please. And of course, we'll put an incinerator near them, and maybe a morgue as well. Probably gonna need that before all the dead people stack up. Okay, let me go ahead and make the changes I wanted to do here, because people are circling the center of the rim a little bit too much for my liking. I want it to be a 2-lane road. We'll make it this piece here, maybe a little bit nicer. And we'll, oh wait, it's gotta be 1 way, doesn't it? Yeah, I kinda just defeated the purpose of all that, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this 3-way. And then we'll paint all of it lovely in blue. There we go, now that is exactly what we needed. And just like that, we have a perfect rim with a nice hubcap in the middle. We might put something in there. And I totally forgot to zone around the hospital, so we'll do that too. There we go. Things are slowly looking up here. Very slowly indeed. Okay, seems like things are coming together in our entire 6-lane highway section, and slowly some commercial buildings are popping up, and it looks like our residential areas are actually getting filled up pretty quickly. So we might have to start doing some zigzags in the windows and stuff. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. This is surprisingly actually working. Although we only have a population of 1,000, so things can only get worse from here. Alright, so we're probably going to need a school to satisfy these people's requirements. At least one. Should we put it next to the nuclear power plant? Am I cruel enough to do that? The answer is not yet. But I am very tempted to put it right next to the hospital. However, looking at that, it's only going to service a small area, so we might have to do a little bit better than that. Okay, so I put down 3 elementary schools. They just kind of blend right into the area. And then we'll put down 1 high school right on the corner here. We'll just bulldoze all these houses. And then we'll have educated workers everywhere. Okay, all the places down here don't have electricity. Because of course they don't. Let's just drag some electricity over to them before things get too complaining. Okay, I think we're missing a huge market right here, so I might drag this down in the name of an antenna. Because why not have an antenna on the car? That could be fun. Okay, so our antenna is just going to be a single lane road right out here, and then come back on an angle, just like that. And then it just so happens to connect up to these 2 roads here. Okay, so things are working out here in the double loop-to-loop of absolute death. I think the other one is a little bit, well, it's starting to develop. It's just a little bit underdeveloped currently. I like how there's only really 2 ways to get on and off, and this whole intersection is just absolute trash. But hey, it works. Okay, so I think residential demand is probably going to start to become an issue for us, so we need to add a little bit more detail to these doors. I'm thinking a line right across here that represents some sort of, I don't know, pinstripe or something. We'll just grab it right out of this intersection though, because at this point, why not? People are overjoyed with this new road placement. Congratulations, everybody. Okay, let me just make life a little bit easier for those who are living on this area. We'll give them a decorative street instead of the industrial road that they're used to. Look at that. Progress. Oh, and unfortunately, all these new houses I built up here have no water. This was a bit of a side project. They also have no electricity, so we'll probably need to give them that. I mean, just for a regular standard of living, if nothing else. Alright, so we're still only losing 20 grand a month, which is good. Actually, that's a week. Oh geez, 20 grand a week. Makes things a little bit worse in perspective. The problem is that this, like, Beetle is such a simple car. what else can we add to this to make it more car-like? Like, I was thinking exhaust, but we kind of already have that with the garbage dump. The wheels are nice commercial areas, not quite filled out yet, but soon they will be. And industry is overruling our entire engine bay, so I would say this has been a pretty good success. And still the demand for subdivisions grows as we turn this entire section here into a subdivision. Let me see if I can't just... Well, we'll just wait until the demand actually goes up for this, and then maybe we can do something about it. Okay, just quickly checking traffic, it seems like these pieces here are the worst offenders, as you would likely suspect. Okay, I have an idea for those actually. Let's make them just a little bit better for traffic by making them one way. So this is the way in, or yeah, this is the way in, this is the way out. That makes a little bit more sense. Basically anything I'm doing over on this side, I'm also doing over on this side, just to try and mirror things. I do like when stuff lines up nicely. Oh yeah, that's working way, way, way better. Seems like one-way roads were the answer. Although having another connection right here would probably help quite a bit. It doesn't make sense though. Okay, surprisingly, this city doesn't actually have that many issues. I mean, stuff is on fire over here, but the fire department actually made it there, so that's a good thing. Other than that, what else do we need? Okay, public transit is a joke, we're not using that. Let's go ahead and... Oh, you know what? We have no recycling. I think it'd probably make people a little bit happier if we had recycling. There we go, we'll just bulldoze those two businesses, slap down a recycling center, and then enact a recycling policy that people need to recycle stuff. Okay, so surprisingly the demand for commercial is going up. I did not anticipate that. I guess what we'll have to do, just because I'm used to commercial not really being in demand, I guess we can try to make a spare wheel over here perhaps? That would make sense. Okay, so for our spare wheel, we'll just take the approximate size of this and then just kind of put it up here without doing what I was about to do. And then it kind of has to be at the back, so let's just quickly buy this land, and we'll buy every piece of land actually. Okay, so I just spent a ton of money, but I bought all the land around us. Not like that really matters, but it just means we have a little bit more space to work with if need be. I don't plan on using it, but I'm actually pretty satisfied with the way that the car looks right now. Okay, so one issue we're definitely going to have is that the dumps are completely in the way of the spare wheel. So they're going to kind of conflict with the back window a little bit. Or I mean the wheel itself is. So what I want to do is... Let's just draw it out the way that I was thinking. So we'll go for a thickness like this. Actually, it's got to kind of be angled with the road. Okay, I've decided it's better just to draw starting this way, and then you can kind of see what I'm after. So we have that, and then down, and then across, and then up again. So that would be the spare wheel, and then it just connects somewhere here, just like that. Okay, that makes sense. And then we'll just cover this entire thing with commercial, because it's a wheel. Okay, admittedly this does not make much sense because I made the tire industry, so this is basically just a rim on the back of the car. Don't worry about that though, we will just ignore the technicalities. And look at that, electricity is almost around this entire place. And slowly but surely, the demand for residential is climbing again. Alright, let's make some more subdivisions. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'll just build off of existing intersections, because I don't like doing it the other way. But I'll just kind of make a design in the back. Well, a lot of people's homes were sacrificed for this design, but it does exist, so let's slap down another huge section of people. And then look at that. The car is getting more and more full. Okay, so they are having a critical shortage of just not enough uneducated workers. Not much I can do for you there, buddy. There just aren't enough people to satisfy your business, I guess. And the same thing over here, not enough uneducated workers. I have a lot of trouble with that in my games. I guess putting down a high school was a mistake. Yeah, the high school services pretty much all of this area, except for the upper area over here, so... yeah, unfortunate. People are getting a high school education. The demand for residential is still super low, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of build a whole other place for it anyways. I don't know. I'm just preparing for the absolute worst here. The absolute worst being that we get more people in this town. Oh yeah, that's a nice design right there. And then we'll just fill that sucker in. All of it's gonna be green. We'll just say that this is the running boards. You can really see the pollution in the section here over by the engine, and then the wheel with the exhaust as well. The ground is literally dying and getting polluted over here, just like real life. Okay, I'm not trying to spread some environmental message here. I did do a green city at one point. It's not quite done yet though, but eventually I'll finish that thing off. Okay, let's make this intersection here even worse by adding another thing off the side of it. And then we'll go ahead and just kind of, I don't know, zigzag this around it. That doesn't make any sense. Who said it had to make any sense though? Let's be honest, this is just a hood design. And we'll put all of these new places right next to the nuclear power plant, because who wouldn't want their business right next to the industry? Okay, so I went ahead and filled up these center sections here. It's looking a little bit more full. I think I'm actually going to leave the class empty, so these will be the premium residences up here, where instead these people have to live in whatever the heck this is. But I just kind of slapped down some roads to fill up the area. It's got some interesting designs on this car, I will say. Now we just have to wait for people to move in, and the population continues to grow. Oh yeah, we should probably add a few things here. Maybe some parks that people can go to. Otherwise, they might not be particularly enthused with the city as it is. Oh goodness, there seems to be a small issue going on here of all of these cars getting stuck in traffic. If I was smart, I would upgrade the roads. But I really like the way that this is looking, so I don't want to. Things are getting a little bit busier around the giant wheels of, well, this is where all the commercial is held, so if you want to go to a commercial district, either have to go up here or into the wheel of death. And just checking the traffic, you can confirm my suspicions. Basically anywhere where there's a 5 intersection is going to have issues, like, well, this is a 4, that one's a 5, and then in here, everything is just a disaster, especially once you enter and then when you're trying to leave as well. But I've got to admit, I'm having a lot of fun with this city, and I think I might be getting close to being finished with it. I'm going to sit on it for a bit and just wait for it to fill out, and then I'll come back to you when there's a little bit more done to it. Alright, it's been, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Things are slowly filling up here in the city. That kind of looks like a beetle, although not really. I did do a few changes. Basically the traffic around this area here, as I zoom in you can see it was quite horrible, so I basically just made it so if people want to go through, they can go around this way, or they can just go straight through. It's just a one-way road now, so the only way to get to this area is to drive all the way around to here, then all the way back, and then through here, down into here. Doesn't make a lot of sense. The crime rate in this area would be horrendous, and the fire department's not even gonna be able to get to them, so good luck if you live in those high-rises, the only ones in the city. Other than that though, things are just filling out, and I think that might be it for this car. It's been fun though to try this. It's definitely a good experiment just to try and theme something off of a car. Let me know what else I should do in City Skylines. And I think that's going to be it for the video. And as always, a big thanks to those who choose to hit the join button. We have Canadian Steel, Overlord, Dr. Ivo, That Rice to Explore, QT Bear, McLovin Plays, Terry Williams, The Most Random Person, Sick D Cars and Stuff, Boris Ramirez, Daniel, and Justin. Thank you everybody for your support. I'll see you again next week for some more content. Depending on if I'm off or not because of the current pandemic, I may be making more videos, we shall see. Oh yeah, and also if you're watching this, because I'm putting it out a day early, the stream for the showcase is going to be tomorrow. So get ready for that. Should be good.